Pups, welcome back. New video. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Today we're going to discuss a few things I feel are slightly undervalued. I want to touch on pack price to booster pack price and those ratios. My boy Pokey Profit, who I disagree with on some things, has a really cool segment on talking about that, but I want to discuss it so that some of my followers who may have never seen his stuff will be able to get exposed to that as well, just to see where you might be able to find some edge that you may not already be aware of. So, topic number one, undervalued items. The number one undervalued item that I have been targeting here recently is Surging Sparks. As everybody is very much aware, Surging Sparks was put into the vending machines in the form of a booster box. And since that happened, the box actually tanked. At one point, Surging Sparks boxes were as high as $300. Sniffed it for a short period of time before dropping sharply back to $270. It then slowed down a little bit more, set it around $250, and it hovered there for months. Then they took out some of the older booster boxes in the machine. I'm trying to remember exactly which one was in there because it tanked that box too. But then they inserted the Surging Sparks boxes and it was game over. The box went all the way from $250 all the way to $200, and over this past weekend, there were some sales happening in the $185, $190 range. Then, TCG Player Black Friday sale starts. Let's talk about it. As most of you all know, TCG Player runs a sale every year during Black Friday. During this, members of TCG Player get a discount, 10%. I think pros get 15% on any item. So a lot of people make use of that. Sales volume usually spikes, even though spending during the holidays typically drops. People make use of that sale. TCG Player is smart, obviously drives their numbers up, and we get to get a better idea of what people really want to splurge on. Well, Surging Sparks happen to be one of those items. So sales volume skyrocketed, is the highest it had been in months and months. And with that, the price rocketed. Now, some people might say, well, with all that supply on the market, you'd think that demand, would significantly drop, and then, of course, price would follow. Well, the opposite actually happened. Price started to track back up. To me, when that happens, and this happens with stocks, when you see an influx of volume and price accumulation and then price expansion, that means that buyers are outweighing sellers. In simple terms, the product was more desired by buyers than the product was wanting to be sold off by sellers. Meaning, people started to realize, okay, this is a good buy at $200 and I'm getting 10% off, so it's actually only $180 with a $20 discount. And with that happening, supply dwindled quickly and price spiked. Now, if you want to, you can go check for yourself. But as of yesterday and today, prices are back up to $245, $250, fluctuating within that, standard deviation of $10, give or take. So, what have I been doing? Well, anytime I've been seeing one in a vending machine, I've been getting them for MSRP, buying as many as I possibly could. I grabbed a few off of eBay and paid around $200, $210 per box. Of course, making sure it was a clean seal. And as of the last few days before the price exploded back again to $250, I started buying sealed cases of booster boxes. Now, some of you may be saying, well, that was just because of the sale, prices are going to go back down. I have my doubts. Let's keep in mind a few things that Surging Sparks has going for it, okay? Number one, of course, it is part of the new block, and that won't expire for some time. So those cards will be kept in competitive play for the foreseeable future. And I actually don't even know when. I think it's H block. I think G block ends in April with 151, Paladin Fates, so on and so forth. So I think it's H block. However, Surging Sparks is what kind of relit the bull market for Pokemon to begin with in November of 2024. People wanted it because it was a holiday set. It came out near the holidays. People were buying gifts. This included Pokemon, which was cheap at the time. It features the face of the franchise, which is, of course, Pikachu. Its number one hit is the Pikachu. It has other popular Pokemon near the top in IR and SIR form. Some of those being the Latias and Latios cards. Everyone really likes the Milotic artwork. Of course, there are some nice trainers. And overall, the set itself is strong, despite what a lot of people think because of how it has been treated due to being in the vending machines. I call this the vending machine effect. You see this with a lot of products that get put into vending machines. The prices begin to drop because, of course, scalpers and people looking for quick flips go and they have the most time on their hands. They clear out machines. They put them on TCG Player for low list. This drives price down because people are price competing, and so on and so forth, until price eventually settles at a point where people say, yeah, this is enough. I'm not going any cheaper than this. And this seems like a really good buy price. We'll just buy everything up at this price. And so you get that that support level where buyers have said, we're not going to let this drop any lower. You'll start to notice that with a lot of things that have come out recently. Definitely with the Phantasmal Flames booster boxes and, of course, the Mega Evolutions booster boxes as well. So that is item number one. I'm very high on Surging Sparks. I am very bullish on its future. I do not plan on moving these for probably 3 to 5 years. They're going to be sitting in a safe, dry, humid-free space, and I intend on keeping these for the long term. So that's number one. Number two, although they have had some sort of a rebound, I still think there's edge with Sword and Shield alt arts and PSA 10s. I also still think there's some edge with highly sought after and popular species in illustration rare form, even in the Scarlet and Violet era. These are going to be things like the Persian from Shrouded, the Houndoom from Shrouded. I still love the artwork from Sword and Shield on things like the Starmie with Misty, all of the promos of the evolutions. I still feel these are fairly priced for what they are and how demand driven those specific species typically are. They are what moves quickly at shows. They are what moves quickest when the market rebounds. And as we move into the end of 2025, these next few weeks, I think, will be pivotal for people who want to take advantage of the market kind of being at a stalemate. I think that right now is a very good time for folks to be buying. We have already seen an uptick. If you go look on your collector app, the charts are starting to move back up. They are creeping back up. I noticed this morning that my Fusion Strike booster box was already almost back at $900. This after being almost at that $800 mark. So a 10+% increase over just a few days. Guys, 2026, as soon as the winter holiday spending sprees are over and people have bought what they want, people are going to reinvigorate their credit cards back into Pokemon. Crypto is going to bounce back. There is a direct and high correlation happening with that market and the Pokemon market. Please be wary of that as well. And I still think it's a very good time to be looking for nice alternative artwork from Sword and Shield and highly sought after species in illustration rare form from Scarlet and Violet. If you want to spend a little bit more money, if you have the capital to do it and you don't want to buy raw, I still very much support getting PSA 10 versions of these cards as well. These are what catch the biggest moves when things do rebound and bounce back. And those are things that, if I were you and you had the ability to do it, those would be what I was purchasing. These are always highly liquid. PSA 10, of the nice species, of the nice artwork from either block is still a win in my book. Okay, number 2. I think right now, what people are failing to realize is there's a number of booster boxes where pack price over 36 packs is cheaper than raw pack price. And what you can do is you can start to find the ratio. And so what I mean by this ratio is it's simple. You take the price of the single loose pack and you divide that number by what the price of the pack inside the booster box would be worth. Let's make this very simple. Let's say we have a set. We don't even need to name a set. We'll call it Set A. And Set A has a booster box with a price of $360 open market, which means with 36 packs inside that booster box at $360, every single pack is essentially worth $10. Okay. Now, if you were to go onto eBay and you were to look up Set A, and Set A had a loose pack price of $15, what you could do is you could take that price of the booster box pack, $10, and divide it by the pack price of the loose pack, $15. This would give you a value under 1. It would give you a decimal value. I think off the top of my head, doing some really quick math, 10 divided by 15 is like 67.7%. Okay, so what that means is you are getting more value out of every pack you're investing in when you buy the actual booster box versus buying the loose pack. Now, I want to make another video when I'm at home and not in the car where I can highlight some of these sets where you are getting the booster box ratio premium. And essentially what I mean by that is it's kind of counterintuitive, because when you think, oh, I'm getting a premium, oh, I'm getting a nice price. What I mean by this is obviously the king of sealed product is the booster box. And so what you can do is you can look for booster boxes that have pack prices that are cheaper than the loose pack, because eventually these will catch up, they will normalize, and you will be able to take advantage of this. Sorry guys, I just parked and got to my location. So some of those, I off the top of my head, I want to say Silver Tempest is one of these. I want to say Brilliant Stars is one of these. And I think there are even a few in Scarlet and Violet, but I know there are either maybe Sun and Moon even has some where you're getting a premium on the loose pack. Now, you do get to a point with some booster boxes where the box itself is just so expensive because it in itself is a collectible, where the loose pack is just going to be more expensive because people can't afford to buy all the boxes. Of course, you know, early Sun and Moon, XY, Black and White, EX Ruby Sapphire era, yeah, those booster boxes are going to be insanely expensive. The packs are also insanely expensive, so it's still worth it to do the math. But yes, I would say look for ratios where you can find a premium on the booster box, and that might be a play for you to look at, like I said, as we get into the tail end of 2025 and see what you can start to price in as we move into 2026. Please don't hit my car, dude. This old guy's trying to park his big ass truck and he's getting really close to my car. So that is all that I will say at this point in time. Be on the lookout for more videos of me looking for market plays where you can have a little bit of edge. I do feel that as we head into 2026, there's still a lot of plays to be made. I am so excited to open Mega Dream. Incredible set. Artwork looks fantastic, and I'm not going to master set it, but I certainly will be opening a lot of it with the hopes of sending some off for grading, because I feel, obviously, with it being the special set, it's poised to be Prismatic 2.0, and even if they print it for a long time, you guys are seeing what's happening with Prismatic. They cannot get the price under control, and as soon as it stops getting printed, even in the slightest bit, after these big box stores and their bundles dry up, the price is going to explode. I still have my largest holding in Prismatic Evolutions. P.S. Sorry, Team Rocket Joey. I know this is going to make you bust your wad, but I am not leaving the market. Yes, you triggered my trap card, Yu-Gi-Oh style, and plugged me in your videos. So yes, I reverse jinxed your shit. I Bugs Bunnied you. I did all the funny little things without having to put on a Team Rocket outfit, and just driving around in my car and making you look like a complete dipshit. Nothing is selling. I'm keeping everything. The train will continue rolling, and we are not leaving the station. So, that's it. Quick video. Really excited about what we have coming up with the rest of the Mega Evolution era. I think that we are poised for some really incredible set releases in 2026. I'm excited to see what the future holds. And for me, I am personally still buying very heavy. If you all are interested at all in seeing what I've been buying on eBay and Facebook and Discord, let me know. I can make a video just literally posting my purchase page, so that you guys get an idea of what I have been buying. And I'm happy to do that. I have nothing to hide. Truly, I think that may be something that I do even if it's not requested, because transparency in this hobby is what I think is most lacking. And we need to be the ones on YouTube, if this is what we're going to be talking about, to be transparent and show people we put our money where our mouths are, instead of Joey putting his mouth where I'm not going to go down that route. Just know that that's what's going on. Guys, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I am glad to be back. I had a wonderful holiday with family, ate lots of food, got to show the little one to some family who had not met him yet, which was a whole lot of fun. And right now, I am just looking forward to the end of the year. I am going to be at Pokepalooza in a couple weeks. I cannot wait to meet some of those different influencers who I watch all the time. Some of my favorites, obviously Jake and Trey over at Jar Chomp Collectibles. I am really excited to meet those guys and just chop it up with everybody there. I am still working on my master set for Silver Borders for EX era. I have started to move into Sandstorm. I have completed Ruby and Sapphire Base. And I just will continue doing that because it's bringing me a lot of joy. And those are my favorite cards of all time. So thank you guys for tuning in. Have a happy Tuesday. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the last video. I will put it into the end of this video. I'll include it just so you guys know where to like, comment, and subscribe to get into our next giveaway. All right, that's all I got. Drewski's Cards. Peace. Oh, shit.